What's up, guys? I am doing a phenomenal tour today. I know what everybody is thinking right now, so keep all of those colors to yourself. We are going to tour Tori's van. That is a tongue twister and a half, but we are going to tour it. We're going to get to know Tori, which is even cooler and better because I think her story and everything she does is really awesome. Here we go.
Hi.
What's going on?
Absolutely nothing.
We are going to get some B-roll of the outside. It is rather frigid. I want to say it's like 15, 18 degrees, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cold.
It's pretty cold. So we are going to stay inside, and thankfully you have a nice heater.
I do, a very expensive heater.
And we're going to get to that. And if you guys can hear a little bit of a humming in the background, I apologize. However, Tori and I are not going to freeze.
Yeah, we don't apologize that much.
Before I get into chassis, make, model, van, all that stuff, I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
And I don't know what you're gonna say.
You got a lot of pink going on up in here.
I do have a lot of pink going on.
Okay. Can you just, is that your favorite color? Or did you want like a Barbie type van?
It became my favorite color when I made it pink.
Okay.
And then it kind of just kept rolling and it never stopped. But I made it pink because I was building out the van and I had no idea what I wanted it to actually look like. And then I got so many comments of like, oh, who's building that for you? Was your brother gonna install that for you? Like, oh, like, and I was like, no. I'm gonna do it myself. And I was just like, I wanted it to be as girly as possible so that everyone who asked me was like uncomfortable with the fact that like, yeah, I'm building and I'm super girly. That way it like kind of like can break uncomfortable thoughts that people have with like, oh, girls and building and kind of.
I love it. You know, you crush stereotypes.
Exactly.
Good for you for doing that. You flipped them the bird without actually flipping them the bird.
In a nice way.
And yeah, you did it in a very, in a way that I would like to do it. Thank you for addressing that right at the top of the video. We got that out of the way. You did build this entire van yourself.
Yeah.
You are girly, right? You wanted to bring that out. You also have a background in, can I say this, pageant?
Go for it.
Okay, so you have a pageant.
I don't hide it.
You have a pageant background.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I actually competed in Miss Vermont when I was living in this van, which.
Really?
Yeah, which again, breaking stereotypes. They were not ready for that. They were not ready for that at all.
Wait a minute. How is there an age cutoff?
It was 26, and they just moved it to 28 this year.
Really?
Yeah, which is.
So you were living in Vermont a couple years ago, or last year?
I was living in Vermont last year, last January.
You competed?
Yep, I was living at a Walmart and competing for Miss Vermont at the same time.
Can I put that in the title?
Yeah.
Former pageant queen is now VanLife.
Lives at Walmart. And they were not ready for it.
So they legitimately, you were living at a Walmart. This is breaking a lot of stereotype barriers.
Yeah.
And you were a pageant queen, or you were attempting to be a pageant queen.
Yeah, I was practicing at a Planet Fitness, in the dressing room. That's where I was practicing my talent. And in the back room, I would go in at 2 a.m. when no one was in there, so I could dance and practice in the back room so no one could see.
So that was your talent? Was your dancing?
Yeah, I was a dancer.
So do you have pageant background before all this?
I started when I was in 3rd grade.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then I got addicted and I kept doing it. A lot of people think, they think pageants are so you do your hair and you walk on a runway, and it's it actually is a community full of girls who are working really hard. But we all have social initiatives, and that's how I started teaching self-defense and encouraging people to learn more about safety. Was pageantry. I was surrounded by girls who were doing those kind of things and who are now people who are running for different places in Congress and whatnot, and who are doing all these amazing things, and it was it encouraged me to be a better person growing up. So
that's super rad. You don't have to be a resident of that state to be a competitor.
So that's why I had to live there for so long to become a resident. So I had a full-time job. I was living in my car. I had by working there full-time, that's how I was a resident. That's why now I'm done competing because I don't want to live in a state for 6 months.
Oh, you're retiring from the pageant life.
I always say that. Everyone always says that when they go back and do another.
Depending on the age of state, you've got a couple more years left.
Now I have more years.
Yeah, good for you.
But I still don't think they're ready for a girl who lives in a van.
I think we are ready for it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm not going to be your coach. I'm not going to be the Michael Caine of this.
Cut to you doing a runway walk.
Oh, I can strut. Okay. So let's get into some of the van stuff because that's what people are tuning in for. But I'm glad we got to know you a little bit. Yeah. What is the year, make, and model of the van that we are sitting in?
It is a 2015 Ram ProMaster 159 wheelbase. I got her with 28,000 miles, something like that, for about $31,000. And then the build was $17,777, including everything. So that was my silverware, the pillow, every last thing in here, because I had to buy everything. I was moving into a home for the first time.
Ram ProMaster, you bought it used, you put little under 18 into it.
Yeah.
Really good job. No experience whatsoever. Oh, you also included tools in that, right?
Yeah, I had to buy some tools. So every last thing I bought to make this van, because in my opinion, like when you think about, oh, I'm going to do a van build, like those things all count in the van build. So I include everything in the price.
And as it should. Do you still have those tools?
I do, but I also, like my dad, like I gave them to him. So.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Because I was like, well, I'm gonna live in a van now. I don't need tools.
I've built all of my vans. I've done 3 of them, all with the exception of the last one. So my first 2, I needed help. I got help from, and I just needed a second set of hands.
Yeah.
Did you have a second set of hands helping you out?
If you ask my little brother, he will tell, he tells everyone that he like built half the van, and he like held this in for me while I screwed it in one time, and he handed me the solar panel, and I think he carried the floor pieces in, and that is all he did. And he tells everyone, and I had to buy him ice cream every time he did anything. He tells everyone that he did like half the van. So besides that, I did get help, and I think it's important to talk about getting help, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I can't do a van, but like you can get help on individual pieces. Like, there's no shame if you can't 100% DIY. But I had the heater installed professionally because I didn't want to go into the gas tank myself, because
it's a scary endeavor.
It is, and if I mess it up, like that's my van at stake, and I don't have money for that. And then after I did the electrical system, I actually took it to a professional. His name's Jesse Graver, and he checked over everything, and he actually fixed a few of my connections. All
right, so let's kind of talk about at the front here, if that's okay. What do you got going on with me here? And can I switch sides with you?
Yeah, sure.
So we can open that up. Did you do anything to the front at all?
No, just added a lot of stickers.
Okay, that's and you put up are those DIY you know, I don't want
window covers.
Window covers. Thank you. I blanked on that.
Yes, I hate DIY window covers. I know that professional ones are so expensive.
They are. I
did the side 2, and then I bought the first one. I was going to cheat and buy one off Amazon and then trace it and then return it, and then I just never returned it.
Okay.
So.
You even have a DeLorean.
You have a Tori DeLorean.
Oh, Tori DeLorean. DeLorean.
Like, oh, that's the future. I'm like, no, I just.
Oh, okay. We're gonna talk a little bit about the outside right now. You stealth out in cities. This is like predominantly where you live.
I love cities. So I don't have any windows. One, because I have this irrational fear clowns are gonna come up to my windows, and that's irrational. But I just feel like having a window is kind of scary. Solar panels and my fan and my skylight.
It's red, like.
Yeah, it is red, which some people say is not stealth, but I think it's fine.
I mean, it's just blending in with your surroundings. That's all stealth is.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for your van?
Yeah, her name is Margot Roth Spiegel van.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It's from a book. It's from a John Green book. Every van lifer has to have a van pun.
Yes, they do. A lot of people are going to say, oh, there's her bathroom.
No, I don't have a bathroom.
You're right.
I don't have a bathroom at all whatsoever, which bothers a lot of people. It doesn't bother me, and it's my van. This is a mural I painted. I actually paid for my van, like the down payment. I'm an artist, and I was hand painting jackets, and the Jonas Brothers shared it on their page, and I got like a lot of sales from that, and that's how I paid for the down payment on my van. So I painted that, and then this is my closet.
There's your closet.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on. This is, so I have everything hung up, and this is where I shove clothes when I'm too lazy to hang them up, because realistic. This is my stove, and then just more clothes just all in there.
It's a propane little cooker, and you kind of just put it out, and you kind of put it here where the laptop is.
Yeah, in my next van, I'm going to have a slide out though, because I think pulling that out, setting it up, like everything in here, if it's more than like 2 steps, like I don't do it. So I don't cook enough because it just takes too long to put it on there, put the propane in.
So you're tall.
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
Okay, so you've got room.
Space.
Yeah,
I've got space, and I didn't even do that thing where people put the like furring strips on the side, like the furring strips on top of the, what is the word I'm looking for right now?
The rib?
Yeah, the rib, and then on the bottom, like I have Havelock wool in between the furring strips on the bottom, so like I didn't even try to save space.
So what do you have for insulation? Havelock wool?
Havelock wool, I don't regret, though it's pricey.
Do you have signed CDs?
Yeah, I have 4 signed Taylor Swift CDs. The whole band.
Are you a Swiftie?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hand painted this to match what she used at the AMAs. So it's based off of her Lover album. I went to her house and I took seashells from her house.
Does she know this? Oh.
She lived next to a public beach, okay?
Okay.
I just stared at her house from afar like a creep.
So you stalked Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Okay.
We should move on from that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Listen, I can guarantee you're not the only Swiftie that has done crazy stuff.
It's the reason I started van life in a way.
Really? Okay, so what? Yeah, you were about to say something about your whole van.
So I started car camping 5-6 years ago, but the reason I started is I went to her concert, and I was in my car, and I didn't want to drive. Traffic after a concert's horrible, so I was just like, oh, I'll just sleep in my car and wait for everyone to leave, and then I just like genuinely fell asleep, and I woke up, and I was like, drove right out. And I was like, this is great. And then I was like still in Miami the next day, and I was like, oh, I could just travel Miami for the day. And at that point, I didn't know what van life was. I didn't know what car camping was. I was like, I've invented something super cool. No. So I just traveled Miami and then I was like, I could do this more often. And I started just going on road trips, sleeping in my car very poorly. I had no idea what I was doing. I used to have like nightmares I was burning alive in my car because I like,
my goodness.
It was so bad. It's Florida. It was hot. Then I did a road trip across America. Still had watched no videos, knew nothing. And that's when I was like, I want to do this, but I want to do it better. So it all started from that one concert.
So you are a crazy Swiftie.
Yep.
That you started your whole van life journey off of Taylor Swift, which is why you are obsessed with her, maybe. I don't know.
There's a lot of reasons. Actually, like, she's also the reason that I reported my sexual assault, which is pretty crazy.
You what?
She's the reason that I reported my sexual assault, actually.
Reported your sexual assault?
Because of Taylor Swift. Also because of that concert. That concert changed my life. Let me tell you, man.
So, are you open about that on your YouTube channel? Like, I'll promote you now. Like,
I'm really casual about it. I think because I have a small business and I talk to women like daily about it. People like reach out to me and they talk about like what happened to them. And I think because of that, I'm just comfortable with it. I'm comfortable talking about it because like I've seen what happens when you do talk about it and how like people become educated and they become more serious about their own safety as well. Also, everyone's like, you live in a van, it's so unsafe. And I'm like, I was at my apartment building. I distanced from my apartment and I got sexually assaulted. So tell me more about how housing is so safe.
And you told me a lot about it when we were hanging out yesterday, and we went on a nice little trip to Lowe's together, and we had some real good heart-to-hearts walking down the aisles. Great closet, you have all your clothing, really well done. And now we move into your kitchen galley, I guess.
This is my $7 sink faucet.
Okay, is it?
Sink faucets are expensive.
Yes, they are.
And I was like, well, this one works just as well. It's USB charged, and then you hope you have water in it. I don't right now.
Okay.
I literally have a giant jar that I brushed my teeth with yesterday of just water, and I just didn't even put it in the sink.
So is it charged or is it always plugged in?
No, it's charged. I can charge it because my outlet's right there, and then I just plug it in here.
Oh,
but
I've
only charged it like 4 times since I've had this van. I was like, where do I want to put money into the van? And the answer was not the sink faucet.
I love it. That's good stuff.
The money was Pokemon planters.
Okay.
I've probably spent $200 on Pokemon planters, so that's probably accurate.
So to back up the Choo Choo Charlie here, we've got a pink van with a lot of Swiftie stuff and Pokemon planters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't actually have plants in.
What do you have in them?
I have earrings in this one, and I can't find a plant to go in this one, so.
Oh my God.
Also, I have Pokemon cups. It's bad. It's bad, Jared.
And we haven't even got to the MCU.
Basically, I'm a fangirl, is what you're looking at right now.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? You live your life, girl. Like, I love it. You have a laptop here.
It's just an iPad in a laptop case. But yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so hidden. All right, we're going to switch sides. Is this just a bathroom sink that you kind of like molded into your...
Yeah, just a farmhouse sink I just threw in there.
You got the dimensions, you're like, this will work.
And then this actually is probably one of my favorite things I have in here because, again, anything that's 2 steps doesn't happen. So my toothbrush, like hand sanitizer, like makeup, etc. is just all in there. So I don't have to like open any drawers or anything.
Do you just like disguise it all with flowers or fake flowers?
Yeah, I think this is like one of the few things that I like genuinely like just designed and came up with myself, which is why I'm so proud of it. Had everything in there and it looked like a mess, and I was like, I'm just gonna throw flowers on top of it.
You have a seating bench area thingamajiggy.
I do.
Do you have a table that goes with it?
Yeah, it's a 5-foot long table.
Ooh.
I know, it's very fancy.
Oh, it matches your countertop.
Yeah.
I like it.
Everything's pink.
No, I mean just like the style, the pink marble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not real marble.
I think it was $7 contact paper from Amazon.
You're just giving all your
on
secrets
the budget.
away. I guess that's where your work is getting done?
Yeah, for the most part. Because when I was going to move into the van, I was going to keep painting jackets.
Can I ask what you do for work now that you're on the road? Like
yeah. So for the first 2 years, I would pick a 9-to-5 job somewhere cool that I was interested in, and then I would work that 9 to 5. Then I would take like 2-3 months off, and then I would go get another 9-to-5 job somewhere. So I worked at Salem, Massachusetts. I was an actress in the Salem Witch Dungeon, which was super cool. I worked at the original Ben & Jerry's factory. I manufactured guitars with Martin Guitar. So I would just kind of pick something that was cool, and I would work there. So I felt like I was traveling, even though I wasn't traveling. Because I kind of was. I was getting to know a community better and deeper, and I think van life, like people are like, oh, I have to be traveling to do van. Like, no. Like, you can stay in one spot and work like
hopped around from city to city, small city to small city.
It is traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different form. So that's what I did for a while, and then about 3-4 months ago, I did the van tour, and then I blew up on social media, and now I work for Project Van Life.
We can shout him out. Caleb, right?
Yeah, Caleb Simpson. He does the, hey, how much do you pay for rent in New York?
Right. And you lived in New York in this?
In this for, I think, maybe maybe a month and a half then, and then I've gone back and lived there a few times since then. I've lived in New York in this. I've lived in Baltimore for a little bit in this. Like I like the crazy cities pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
Put a little bit of risk in it, you know?
Is your power in here?
Yeah, so it's in, there's more Pokemon, don't look.
I'm not judging you at all.
That sounded judgy. I believed it until then. That's my goal 0. It's very simple. It's why I liked it, because I didn't want to do the whole setup. But
simple is better.
yeah, it's a 3000X. Was it expensive? Yeah.
So that was like, that's like most of your budget.
That was, I think with that, so I bought that from Freedom Van Gogh, and it came with like power cords that hooked up and everything, so I didn't have to do anything except the fuse box myself, which was super nice, because I tried to research the power system for like a month, and I just mentally was like, I'm done. So I just bought that. I spent more money and just bought that, and that was pretty nice. I think it was like 5,000 though.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
I mean, you already said you spent like 17,777.
the whole thing though, that was like, that includes like the fuse box and the wiring and
Gotcha.
everything. I regret that. I'm not gonna, like, that's the thing I regret.
You can't regret something that
I
gives
regret
you
nothing
power.
in my van.
No, but
it's the best build. It's better than everyone else's. I promise. This is gonna be your best van tour, Jared.
That's going to be my opening clip right there. Everybody says it.
If I didn't say it, it wouldn't be a van tour.
Ah, your refrigerator.
My fridge is in here, obviously. So this is because, am I gonna show my shame right now?
Yeah.
My fridge.
Oh my God.
We're being realistic, Jared.
I love it. I love it.
We're just gonna reshut this.
All right. Dometic.
Dometic. The
Thank
fridge is
you.
great.
So you got the Dometic. You've got your power.
Yep.
We've already established you do not have a shower or bathroom
bathroom.
or any sort. However, it's really easy to put one in here if you need to.
Yeah, but I'm in cities all the time, so it's usually pretty easy. So I haven't really had a problem.
You said earlier, you said my next van.
Yeah.
Are you, what's your deal?
So I'm selling this van, and I'm getting another one, and I'm going to build it out because I do work for Project VanLife, and so we're going to use their VanLife Academy course, and I'm going to be using my YouTube channel, and we're going to be making van build videos and talking about how to do a van build. Very excited about, but at the same time, like, this was a labor of love. Like, I learned how to use power tools, like, I grew a lot in this van, like, very sad to lose it. And possibly repaint it. Jared's convincing me to repaint my van to sell
All right,
it.
guys, I played a little real estate broker with her. And I told her to possibly repaint the ceiling, which is a pink, everybody. It's kind of obvious. It hurts me to tell you to paint it, because I really do feel that this is Tori DeLorean here. Mm-hmm. Maybe the people can comment and be like,
should I repaint it to sell it?
Or have the new owner paint it.
Yeah.
Are you going to change the handles out?
They're adorable little butts.
They're hearts, everybody. They're hearts.
I thought they were butts.
Who did?
You did. You said they were butts.
I know. I said they were hearts, and I said, but they could be mistaken as butts. No, they're hearts, everybody.
They're hearts. I promise.
What is underneath you? This is a platform bed,
Yeah.
so what is underneath there?
My laundry goes here. And then all my small business stuff and my inventory is under here in like pull-out drawers, which is very convenient. Everything else is where I throw things when I don't know where to put them.
Okay, so it's like a junk drawer, but under the bed.
Yes.
Do you have access to the back?
Yeah.
Through that door? Are you scared to open it?
No, it's fine. I'm not ashamed. I'm a mess. It's cool.
You're not a mess.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's not that bad. But also,
I would rather this was actually clean. I thought you did clean up.
I mean, I washed my sink.
Earlier you were talking about how you're 5'10". Mm-hmm. ProMasters luckily are the widest of the major vans, so you fit. I invented this wonderful thing.
Also, I'm gonna put my shoes on the bed, and I don't want to hear about it. Okay, so, oh my God, I don't fit. Oh my God, I went on a tiny angle and I fit. So it's an issue that I feel like is not a real issue for most people. If you're 6 foot plus, maybe.
Yeah, if you're like 6'2", but there's
yeah.
also ways around that. You can cut into the inside cavity right there.
I think those are pretty, but I'm also like, is it worth the insulation? In my opinion.
It's questionable. Now, you lived in the Northeast in a van.
Nothing is worth missing the insulation. It was horrible.
You have been successfully camping in the Northeast for a couple of years now, or at least a year.
About 2 years.
Then 2 winters, then technically.
Yeah, this winter's horrible.
This winter's been cold. It's not been snowy, it's been cold.
Yeah, it's been cold, but it's not anything close to last winter when I was in Vermont and it was like -20 some nights and my heater wasn't installed correctly and I thought that was normal. So I didn't know and I was just freezing to death. And so any cold now, I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm so over it. Like, take me out west. I want to go to SoCal. I want to be in Mexico like everyone else.
Oh, please, no you don't.
Let's go into that now.
We could. That's for my podcast. You have your ceiling fan?
Yep.
Or your roof vent, and then you have a skylight.
My skylight, which is awesome. It's how I get onto the roof.
Oh, you get up to the roof that way?
Yeah, I just climb right out.
What is that skylight, do you know?
Lumar Marine, size 50.
All right.
Boom.
But you have no window, so like when you hear commotion outside,
I can either stick my head or my phone out, like a little like what are they in like the submarines? Like I just go like this.
Okay.
Or my curtain in the front has little stars, so I can like stare at them through the stars. They don't know I'm watching them. My next van will have cameras though.
Really? You're gonna have to get like really small ones, or?
Yeah, but I think the peace of mind, I'd rather have the cameras than. Also, I'm just I think people do hilarious things.
You're a people watcher. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. The things I've seen at Walmart, man. Like,
you not only just stealth camp and street parking, you do a lot of Walmart parking.
I do a lot of Walmart parking.
Any tips?
It's great.
Do you want to give?
I had my very beginning of van life. I had one really bad day where I was like towed in my sleep a little bit, raising off the ground while I was sleeping, and I just ran to the front and was like banging on it, and the guy came around the corner and he's like covered in video cameras, and I was like, hey, like, what's up? And 2 people had overdosed in the parking lot that night, and there were just cops around, and there was just like this whole thing, and it was horrible. So now what I learned is there's a website called allstays.com, and you can look up reviews of Walmarts, and people will tell you like, oh, like, hey, I stayed here. Like, I asked the manager, they said no, like there was no overnight parking signs here. And it's like my Bible now. So fine, people kind of pick one way that they kind of stealth camp, and they'll pick that like comfort thing, and they'll get used to it, and they kind of stick to that. Because I feel like yours is like street, and mine is like Walmart's.
Yeah, when if I travel in my truck, or if I travel I would just 100% park on the street.
Yeah.
I don't know. Street parking for me was comfort.
I think it's because like you do it enough, and you get so used and so good to it that like you just like know when you're comfortable with it.
So did you when you car camped? Were you Walmart or were you street?
I was everywhere.
Okay.
I was in a car, so you can get away with almost anything. I was like CVS, like Denny's, like IHOP, like.
What car?
I think it was my Nissan Altima. I think I started out with the Honda Accord and I went to a Nissan Altima.
And you and I talked to my friend Nikki. She did a Prius for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine 3 years.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Right?
I did a month long across America. That was the longest I ever did in my car. And I was like, this is fun, but we're upgrading. We
will now talk about the MCU.
Yeah.
You are a huge MCU fan. That's a really cool bag, by the way.
Thank you.
I thought it was. Or
I love the Falcon.
Yeah.
I love our Captain America. I'm just like, I don't know if I should say Captain America now, because I think if I say Captain America, people are like, oh, Chris Evans. But like, no, I mean the Falcon.
Tori, can we wrap this up in any way?
Yeah, I think you should end with you doing the runway walk that you said you were so good at.
That ain't gonna happen. Maybe we'll get B-roll of that. We can get your runway walk, but that would just be creepy on my end. I just noticed something really weird, and I'm gonna probably cut this out. You keep your phone on military time? Yeah, because I work in Disney, and Disney's on military time. No way! Yeah, because they never close, ever. Oh my God. Yeah. So you're just used to military time. Mm-hmm. All right, real quick before we end the video. Okay. Can you tell me the material that you use in the ceiling? No, you're pop quizzing me. I am. Shiplap. Yeah, shiplap, right? You just got it at a local hardware store? Yeah, just at like Lowe's. The reason I'm pop quizzing you is because the DIYers that are watching your video are gonna want to know. Yeah. Do you remember the wood that you used for any of the cabinetry? Baltic birch. Everything was Baltic birch pretty much. Okay. That's expensive. So now I don't know if I would go back and do that. If I would just go for another. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I made it up. I made everything up in here. Oh my God, I love it. That's what van builds are. I love it. I'm gonna ask you a couple technical questions. Did you pocket jig or did you like hole jig it? Yeah, I had a Craig jig. Craig jig. Yeah. You used a Craig jig. That's awesome. Yep. I got the cheap one too. So I've seen yours in your shop, and yours is the fancy one. You just stick it in and. Okay, I just got that one. So I had the other makeshift one, the non-fancy one. Yeah, it was very easy. There were things in here that I thought were going to be easy that were hard. This thing, someone in their YouTube video said that you should test your fan before you install it to see if it works by plugging it into a battery. So you can like take the wire and put it in a battery. Don't do that. Okay.
It blew the fuse. And I thought I broke the whole fan. And then I spent a whole week on my parents' couch eating ice cream, watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, crying. Because I thought I broke the fan after I installed it, and I had it all put in there. I was like, I thought I'd have to replace the entire fan. And I was like, I don't even know how to pull this out.
What battery did you plug it into? Because it shouldn't have blown the fuse.
Like my drill battery.
All right, Tori, is there anything that you would kind of give a tip to anybody that is wanting to, first of all, go watch you on YouTube. You get
I have a
vlogs.
YouTube channel now. So exciting.
Yeah, you do great vlogs. For your next van,
Yeah.
are you building it the exact same way?
Pretty much.
Okay, so because
I love this. This is the best build design.
No, I mean, the reason I asked that is because a lot of people ask, well, what would you change? What would you change?
Oh, there's a long list of, one, I didn't put dimmer lights in here.
Okay.
I regret that. I do wish I would have covered this up. I think, one, like this is messy all the time and it bothers me, so you can see it. I regret that I don't have a freezer. I worked at Ben & Jerry's and I got 2 free pints a day and I could never have any free ice cream because I didn't know where to put it.
You've already established yourself as a beautiful, girly builder that knows her stuff. Are you going to go pink again?
I want to.
Okay, nothing wrong with it.
I want to,
There's
but
nothing
also,
wrong with it.
I really like the idea of going like dark green and gold with like a little bit of pink.
Where do you shower?
Planet Fitness.
You know there's one near here.
Is there?
Yeah, like 10 minutes down the road.
Oh, convenient.
All right, well, Tori, we are excited. I'm going to have to check in with you when you do your next van.
Next van.
Maybe I'll come out to wherever you're building it, and we can kind of, maybe you can use me as a second set of hands.
Yeah?
I'm more than happy to help you.
Great.
All right, check out Tori. She's got an Instagram page, Tori DeLore, right?
Tori DeLore, yep.
Your YouTube is Tori DeLore.
Yep.
Good marketing. So go check out Project VanLife because you are the content creator for them as well. Thank you, Tori.
You're so welcome, Jared.